Hello, my name's Stephen, and this is Faith Ministries. So, are you looking for a brand new Bible experience, something that you may not have noticed before? Are you searching for a translation of the Bible that actually restores some of the Hebrew names and the terminology found in the original manuscripts that we don't normally see in English Bibles? Well, the Bible we're looking at today is called the Tree of Life Version, the TLV, Tree of Life Version. Now, TLV is a new Bible translation. It's produced by Messianic Jewish Christian scholars, and it highlights the rich Hebrew roots of our Christian faith. For example, by the Jewish order of the books of the Bible in the Old Testament, the Jewish name of Jesus being Yeshua, the reverence for the four-letter unspoken name of God, and also the Hebrew words such as shalom, the shofar, and Shabbat. The TLV, the Tree of Life version, was originally published in 2014. As I said, it's a Messianic Jewish version or translation of the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament, sponsored by the Messianic Jewish Family Bible Society and also the King's University. The TLV Bible Society, they consider that the translation that they have put together is roughly where the English Standard Version, ESV, is on the spectrum of highly literal to the paraphrase, as we've known before. But it is also almost as literal as the New American Standard Bible, but just as readable as the New International Version. So let's just have a look and compare a verse. So here we are on a comparison of Mark chapter 16 and verses 1 to 3. And the Tree of Life version, the TLV, it reads, "When the Shabbat was over, Miriam of Magdala, Miriam the mother of Jacob, and Salome bought spices, so they might come and anoint Yeshua's body. Very early on the first day of the week, when the sun had risen, they came to the tomb. They were saying to each other, 'Who will roll away the stone for us from the entrance to the tomb?'" Now, the New International Version for the same scriptures reads, "When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and Salome brought spices so they might go to anoint Jesus' body. Very early in the first day of the week, just after sunrise, they were on their way to the tomb, and they asked each other, 'Who will roll the stone away from the entrance of the tomb?'" And then the New American Standard Bible, "When the Sabbath was over, Mary Magdalene and Mary the mother of James and Salome brought spices so they might come and anoint him. Very early in the first day of the week, they came to the tomb when the sun had risen. They were saying to one another, 'Who will roll away the stone for us from the entrance of the tomb?'" As you can see, the TLV, the Tree of Life version, has changed several words that we used to. Being Mary becomes Miriam, Jacob or James becomes Jacob, and words like that. But otherwise, it reads quite very similar to the NIV or the New American Standard. Now, if we step over to the actual TLV Bible Society.org website, I won't go through as much on this today as I sometimes do, but you can do it as your own leisure. But you can see that this is their main page, and they have the new TLV Bibles, the thin line editions. They look at all the different types of Bibles on here that are available to the various people for us to be able to buy. Now, what I'm wanting to do, though, before we go on and have a look any more on the actual website, is that they have an actual app that you download onto your mobile phone. Now, there is a free version and there is a paid version. So here we are. We have the TLV app on my phone, and as you can see on the screen there, that's what it looks like. And so up the top there, as you can see, they go through, you can get calendars and various things like that. And here on the thing in the middle, we have the TLV verse of the day, which when you click on it, it actually opens up to the passage that they are reading for that particular day. Go back to the home page, and further down, we see they have a proverb of the day. This one's taken from chapter 29, "One who remains stiff-necked after many rebukes will suddenly be destroyed," etc. But they do it in a way of a video. Now, I won't actually open the video to play it, but it opens up with this lady that you can see there. She reads a passage from it and she gives some explanation to it. Down further, it has the weekly rest and Bible readings, the Torah, the other parts of the Bible, and the New Covenant readings that you can do for the week. It has various TLV talks, monthly observance, very, very much geared to a Jewish background person, or if you're a Christian and very interested in Jewish things, this is very interesting to look at. The semi-annual season, it is time of harvest. Yearly celebrations are Yom Kippur, the Sukkot Day, and then down the bottom, Simchat Torah. So then we have, if you scroll across the bottom, we have what they call a calendar. It has very limited use because you have to unlock the extra access by subscribing to it. Now the TLV, up the top there, when you click on that, it comes up with the various books of the Bible and has the Torah, as you can see, Genesis right through to Deuteronomy. And then they have the prophets from Joshua through to Malachi. And then the writings from Psalms through to Second Chronicles. So Second Chronicles becomes the last book of the Tanakh, of the Old Testament, as far as Messianic Jewish readings go. And then we come down to the Good News, Matthew through to Acts. And so the actual New Testament that we're used to, it doesn't change. It's still in the same similar order right through to Revelation. And so you can open up, we go right back to Genesis, and you can open up the book of Genesis, and has there the Parashat Bereshit, which is the Hebrew name for it, creation in 6 days. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was chaos and waste, darkness was on the surface of the deep, and the Ruach Elohim was hovering upon the surface of the water. And so that is, and then we have, go across here to videos, and they provide videos which some of them are open and free, others you have to subscribe to. And then also finally, different parts of extras at the back. So that is the TLV, Tree of Life app that you can have for your phone, which gives you verses for the day. You can read the Bible on there and study it at your own leisure. So if we go back to the actual website again, we have a page here which is called the Key Principles, which were developed and approved by the TLV Bible Society. And we'll just go quickly through those. The key principles in developing this particular Bible was, 1, to restore the Jewish name of the Messiah from Jesus to Yeshua. Number 2, restoring the reverence for the four-letter unspoken name of God. Number 3, restoring the clarity of the difference between the Creator and the creation. Number 4, restoring the sacrificial death of the Messiah Yeshua to the Torah, from which the good news unfolds. 5, restoring more universal Hebrew terminology previously overlooked in most translations. Number 6, adding, with the use of italicizing on the very limited basis, lesser known Hebrew terms to help the reader better understand some of the lost intent of the original manuscripts. And 7, restoring a few key names in the biblical text to a more Hebraic expression to a clarity and reconnect Messiah to his Jewish family. And number 8, clear up the confusing language when referring to people not born Jewish in the text. 9, clear up confusion between misunderstandings about the intent when referring to the terms such as synagogue and church. Clear up the confusion about the terminology concerning the Jews in the New Covenant. Number 11, clear up the confusion about the terminology of law. And number 12, restoring the earlier works of translators by providing new words, terms for words whose meaning has been altered by changes in language over the centuries. And 13, restoring the Jewish culture of Yeshua's day through art and documented biblical holiday observances. And finally, 14, restoring the Jewish order to the books of the Old Testament. 15, focusing upon principles of gender equality, not gender neutrality. And 16, keeping unity within our theological review team as they work together on the entire text. And just quickly running through about the TLV, originally wanting to produce a children's book so that people who had come from a Jewish faith to now embrace the Christian faith, they wanted to be able to read it from a more Messianic Jewish background point of view, but it developed from a children's book into a fully fledged Bible. On this page, where they have core values and statements of faith, I won't read them, but you can go there at your own leisure. They look at what we believe in, the statements of faith, and how it relates, and then our family response to that. If we look at the first part, just as looking at it, we believe in one God, the Creator. There is no other to compare to Him. We believe God commands us to love Him first and to love one another also, etc. Some of the Bibles I have for sale are things like this children's one called Grow With Me, coloring book. Another one is the Tree of Life Family Bible. So that's a quick look at the TLV, the Tree of Life Version Bible. Now, it fills a need, they believe, and which I probably agree with, is that it caters to Jewish believers. And also, if you're a Christian and you have a real interest, like I know a lot of Christians do, in our Jewish roots, going back to Abraham and Genesis, etc., then it makes it more accessible for Jewish people to know their Savior, Yeshua. It's also unique in that, as I said earlier, it restores the Jewish order of the Old Testament in the words, how the books of the Bible are ordered. So if they look at an original Hebrew Bible, those are the same orders that they have here. As you saw earlier, they actually they end with 2 Chronicles rather than Malachi, as we do in the English Bible. They also have changed some of the English names into more Hebrew names. For example, instead of calling James in the New Testament James, they call him Jacob. They have shalom for greetings or peace, that sort of thing. They have ruach instead of the word spirit. Adonai is used for the Lord. And instead of using the word baptize, they have gone for the word immerse. There is one thing that may throw you a little bit if you're not used to it, and that is in some of the Bible, in some of the chapters in the Bible, such as in Psalms. You may notice that in Psalms, such as Psalm 3, at the top, we have in the ordinary English Bibles, it says the Psalm of David when he fled from Absalom, his son. And then the next words under it is the first verse, and that is how it's numbered, number 1. But in the TLV, very much like the original Hebrew Bible, they have started the first verse as the Psalm of David when he fled from Absalom, his son. And then the second verse is what we refer to as our first verse. And so there are a few Psalms and things like that that have the verses out of order by one verse, out of sync, as it were. But as far as the rest of the Bible goes, everything ties together quite well. So if you have an interest in your Jewish roots as far as being a Christian is concerned, or if you are Jewish and you become a Messianic Jew, then this Bible will prove very valuable to you as a resource, as showing you the roots from where we have come from as a Christian of faith, and it would be a valuable addition to your bookshelf and also to your phone, as I showed you there on the app on your Android or your Apple device. And you'll be able to read it in your own leisure instead of having to actually buy it itself. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share so more people may see it. And until next time, God bless.